Salutations, Blue Spice Assassin here. Today we're going to be discussing the claimed assassination attempts on some of Michigan's voter fraud witnesses, the recent clash between Proud Boys and Antifa in DC on December 12th, 2020, and most importantly, the First Amendment. So, recently there was a video popping up claiming to be an assassination attempt on Michigan's voter fraud witnesses. This is not the case. Not too long ago, this video was basically circling around on Reddit. As far as I'm aware, it has nothing to do with any attempt on the lives of witnesses involved in the recent election. Moving on, last night in Washington, D.C., Proud Boys and Antifa made a few clashes. For the most part, the police were doing their best to ensure that both sides were not in contact with one another. There were a few instances of Proud Boys and Antifa meeting. As far as I'm aware, there were no instances of them coming across one another in massive numbers, just a few at a time. In one of the instances, an Antifa member stabbed two Proud Boys, as well as a few other stabbings along the night. In other instances that I'm aware of, a group of Proud Boys came across a few Antifa/BLM girls and got into a verbal altercation with them. But at no point did any of the Proud Boys attack any of the girls or anything like that. However, funnily enough, the girls started to act tough when the police arrived and created a barrier between them and the Proud Boys group. Now, onto our main topic of today, our First Amendment. Now, those of you unaware of our First Amendment in the US, I'll be going ahead and giving you the full piece. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Basically, what this means is that we have the religious freedom, so the government cannot infringe on our right to follow whatever faith we want. It means that we have the freedom of speech, the government cannot control what we say, and the only instances of them being able to do such things is when we're like calling for violence and shit like that. It means that we have the freedom of press. Basically, it means the government cannot control our opinions within the media without censorship. We have the right to peacefully assemble, which means that we can protest so long as we're following correct procedures. Unlike these kind of BLM and fucking Antifa riots, you know what I'm saying? Now we have the we have the right to petition the government and air our grievances. This basically means that if the government does something stupid, we can say how we feel about it without risking being tossed in prison. All of these beautiful rights are what Americans enjoy and use on a daily basis, and anyone that dares to try and take that away is a fascist, is a communist, and is overall a hateful and abusive person towards human rights. There's a famous quote said by Evelyn Beatrice Hall, which is, and I quote, "I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it," end quote. I will leave this for all of you to think about. Now, my next video will most likely be on the Second Amendment. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, then please feel free to comment below, DM me on Discord or Twitter, or even write me an email. Goodbye, and have a lovely day.